Welcome to this fourth tutorial for Reaper Audio. In this lesson today, we will look at how to work with Midi, how to create a Midi track, how to edit Midi, and how to import free virtual instruments inside Reaper. You can input Midi using an external USB keyboard, which are very useful and very easy to get. Or you can input Midi using the inbuilt virtual Midi keyboard inside Reaper, which allows you to work with Midi directly with your computer keyboard. The first thing you want to do is go to your preferences, audio, Midi devices, and check that your external device is in the list, that it is connected. Today I will use the CME X key, which is a 2-octave keyboard which I have on my desk. Then we will create a new track by double-clicking. And this time we will click on FX to go to our virtual instrument, the VSTi. There are very few instruments in Reaper, but we can install many free plugins to give us more sounds to work with. To get you started, let's work with one of the instruments that is in Reaper, which is called the Re-Synth. Okay, so at the moment I cannot make any sound at all. I need to connect my Midi keyboard, which I have here, to the Re-Synth. And I do this by switching the track on and then clicking in this area here where the meters are to select the Midi input. So I'm going to go to CME X key, that's my USB keyboard, and select it. Okay, now I can hear this C major triad. I am playing on my external USB keyboard, and with this very simple synthesizer, I can create a balance between several oscillators. This is a sawtooth oscillator. This is a triangle wave. There are different sounds that you can adjust and mix to create the kind of color you want to work with. You can adjust the volume. And here, attack, decay, sustain, release, ADSR. This is an envelope generator. So if I change the attack, you see the sound is coming in much slower now. The decay and the sustain define how short or how long the sound is. The release is what happens once you release the keys. Right, so if you're happy with the sound, you are now ready to record. Let's position the cursor to bar 3. Maybe change the view to beats. Let's switch on the metronome. Control-click on the metronome. I can adjust the levels of the two sounds, the first beat and the secondary beats. And very important, I would like a count-in before recording. I would like 1 bar before recording. If you don't have a Midi keyboard, what you can do is use the virtual Midi keyboard, which you can access by going to View, Virtual Midi Keyboard. And this allows you to input notes using your computer keyboard on your PC or your Mac. You can select this by clicking on the meter here, going to Input, Virtual Midi Keyboard. And now if I select the virtual Midi keyboard here and press Z on my keyboard, or X for a D, or C for an E, I can input notes very easily. It takes a little bit of practice, but it is possible. It's a new set of keyboard skills. Right, so now we are ready to record. I am going to go back to my external keyboard because it's easier to play. Set the cursor to bar 3 and start recording our little chord progression. 1, 2, 3, 4. C, F, to D, to G, to E minor, to A minor, to F, to G suspended, G7. And I'm going to save this recording here. And this time, instead of audio, I have recorded a piano roll. Let's listen to it. I don't need the metronome anymore. If you double-click on this new recording, you can see the piano roll view here, which shows you the pitches you played and where they are in time. You can decide to see 16th notes or 8th notes. I think 8th notes will do today. And you can see that my playing was a bit rushed. A lot of those notes are slightly in front of the beat. We can zoom in and we'll see that even better. You can see here it's very rushed. So what I'm going to do is select all of the notes by typing Control A or Command A for select all on the keyboard, and then going to the Quantize tool. What Quantize allows me to do is to select all of the notes and use the grid to make the part tighter. As you can see now, if I play it back, this is much neater. Okay, so we now have a chord progression recorded with this very simple synthesizer. We can name the track here, synth. We could color the track, set this to random color, that's a nice green. And now I want to create a bass part. So I will create a new track by double clicking here. I'm going to call this bass. And again, go to FX. And this time I will select the Sonatina Orchestra from Big Cat. These are free sounds you can install on your Mac and your PC. And you can look at the additional video in this post to learn how to do this. There are many free instruments you can install on your PC and your Mac. So let's select this. Okay. And I will choose a double bass in this library of orchestral instruments and select pizzicato here. Once I've done this, I need to switch it on and also select my input here, my USB keyboard. It's not the best sounding double bass, but it's free and it will totally work for what I need to do today. So let's record the bass part after the count of 4 with the metronome. 2, 3, 4. And you can save this, and now if I double click, I can look at the piano roll and listen to the bass part. Okay, it's not perfect, but it's not bad. I could still edit things so that the timing is a bit more accurate. You can still move the notes. If you want to move them freely, disable the magnet tool here so that you can move things exactly the way you need them to. It's a little bit late now. Right, so let's color this track again. Track color, random color. Oh, it's now purple. And create a melody part. Let's say if we want a flute, I will now disable this track, enable this track, select my input, Midi input, and go to effects here. And this time I'll select again from Big Cat a Piccolo Flute. It's a free plugin which sounds like this. You can adjust the level, make it a bit louder, either on the track or on the plugin itself. You can add a bit of reverb. Right, I quite like this sound. Let's record from bar 14. I don't need the metronome now. I already have the synth and the double bass. So I'll position the cursor at bar 13 and record. And I save this, and now we can listen to the track. Double click, you have the piano roll. Right, so this is how you input MIDI and create an arrangement using free sounds inside Reaper. I hope this helps. Any questions, please ask.